A couple reached their $200,000 investment goal. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, and I thought we'd look at what I would consider some good news that someone has shared on FI Australia on one of our subreddit posts. So let's jump over there and have a look at that. No, we won't look at that. We'll look at this. Now, this was the Australian version of financial independence, a place created for Australians to discuss the concept of financial independence and retiring early. You can be financially independent early in life. There is no need to work until you're 65 plus in order to access superannuation benefits and retire. Why not retire at 45, at 35? Welcome to the concept of financial independence. I don't know, that was cut off in the video, but I mean, that's the point. And I honestly, my argument would be that the goal for everyone should be to have enough income coming in that you've got control over your time. You don't need shitloads of money, to be brutally honest. You just need to have control of your time. And I don't think people, particularly the ones that are going down this path, like the FIRE movement or financial independence, are going to retire. I think they may scale back. How many people do you know that have got enough money, they could retire, but they still work a few days because, well, they like having the extra money in, and, well, they like not being with their partner all the time, mixing it up a bit. I mean, and it keeps the brain working. We've all heard the horror stories about men who retire and then die like a day after. So let's read this post. So, greetings, FI community. Like a few people here, my wife and I have nowhere to share financial goal stories. Largely, as we feel guilty at times for being in this position over others. I mean, it's not... Should you feel guilty about achieving a goal? I guess you don't want to make people feel jealous. You want friends that will cheer you on, but money is such a taboo topic, some people won't even discuss it. Particularly family. Okay, that are in a completely different level of wealth. So this is the problem, where they don't even have anything scratched together, because you know what'll happen. It'll be starting to knock on the door. Oh, you've got 200 grand sitting there invested. And for others, 200 grand won't seem much. For some, it'll seem like a huge amount. Hey, it's a deposit on a house in Australia. But for some, getting that type of savings set aside is for all, I think, is a big achievement. But for some, it's not even conceivable. And which is kind of sad, because it should be within the realms of everyone to aspire to achieve. Because, I mean, you've got 200 grand there. What's that say? You're earning 20 grand a year interest, maybe 10 grand a bad year in dividends, or let's say 15 grand. Now, a bit under 10%. That's your food budget paid for the year. $1,000 a month? You could live off that if you really had to. I mean, with the size of our family, we spend more than that on food. So we'd need a bit more than that. But I mean, that should be the goal, building these investment chunks. There we go. There's food sorted now. We don't need to worry about that money. Now let's save up some more, build a wealth pool, and that'll pay off our mortgage. Our family moved overseas for work at the start of 2021 on a military posting. After the initial expenses of moving overseas were covered, we started having a healthy cash flow. And I set ourselves an arbitrary goal of seeing if we could reach 200 grand invested by the time we went home to Australia. This was a mix of Vanguard investments, salary sacrificing, and spouse super contributions. Tonight, we celebrated reaching a milestone over whiskey. We definitely feel privileged to be in this position. It's not, I mean, you work for it, you sacrifice for it. It's not a bloody privilege. We need to get out of this mindset where if you have to work bloody hard to achieve something, to make sacrifices for it, you say, oh, it's privileged. This is why we're getting all this bloody community guilt everywhere. Oh, boy. To be in this position, but it has not been without sacrifice. A lot of hard work and time away from home in the lead up to this posting. So you can see here from Jan 21, there you go. It's just climbing up and up and up. Big jump there. When was that? Oh, there you go, into financial year. 1 year to the next. And slowly creeping up, 200 grand. There you go. Good on him. Good on him. Cheers to that achievement. You know? I want to get more positive stories out there because no one will ever click on them. I've put a post up on the community tab asking for viewers to share their stories. If you'd like me to discuss them and share them out, happy success stories, because we need more of them, because the news is always so bloody negative and so much of it is just bullshit. It is just bullshit to manipulate you to click on the stuff. You know, and you got so many people that they're just salivating for a huge economic decline because it's become part of their identity. You know, you don't. So we had a 42% SR for 2021, 35 for 2022. The first half of this year down to 18% thanks to some amazing holidays. The kids were young at the beginning of this posting, and although we still traveled a lot, it was largely driving holidays, eating our way across the country. Good work. And people are saying, nice to sing post, congratulations. Thanks for sharing, sacrifice, and determination are always the accompaniment to the growth of wealth. There are people on FI Australia that like to mock and ridicule those that achieve. Just ignore them. There is a difference between sharing success on a dedicated FI sub like this versus bragging at the pub. Oh, and you just proved it is possible to save 25% towards a house deposit in the 2020s. Well, yeah, they just did. There you go, they just did it. But you got, look, they went overseas for work, so they're probably getting paid extra. And military isn't all fun and games. It's funny, my neighbors are ex-military and they all play like milsim games online. I hated it when we were doing it in real life, but it's fun online. Great work, mate. Keep it up. Sorry, what am I looking at here? A graph of you contributing money to a piggy bank. What was the performance of your shares over the 2-year progress? Or is it just literally a post of, hey, we've saved 10 grand a month for 20 months? Yeah, I know. That's you want a bit more information, but does that really matter? If they're buying and stuff in Vanguard, ETF funds and things like that, you're just following the market. Just building up a stack. That's the point of it. That's the point. And this is a start. For some people, 200 grand is nothing. For others, it's huge. If all you can get together is, aim for your first $1,000, if you don't even have an emergency fund. If you have $1,000 in an account that you can access an emergency fund, you're doing a shitload better than a lot of people out there. You don't want to be in a situation where you got to hock everything, at the cashies just to get by. Or you go begging on a current affair, blaming others that shit's hit the fan. Or, you go and beg emergency payments from Centrelink and then they fall through or they're slow or they're incompetent. That is a certainty that they're going to screw you around. Plan for that. Let's see what else people have to say here. Very cool. Would be interesting to know what were your outgoings, rent, food, etc., and salary. We'll put it a bit more into perspective. No worries if you don't want to share. That just would be nice to compare. I used to track everything and categorize down to the dollar, but after I understood where the money was going and developed a healthier approach to finances, I lost interest. Military conditions of service overseas are one of the reasons this has been possible. We largely live rent and utility free. However, we do lack other benefits like decent subsidized childcare. Oh, see, there's one thing. Rachel gets pissed off with the childcare. She thinks they should get rid of all the subsidies and just tie it into the family tax benefit. And hey, why not get school vouchers as well, tie it all into there, so you've got control of all this money that everyone's getting. Because there are a lot of people out there that probably get more back in the handouts than they realize they're paying. I'd love that, 20 grand a kid for a year of school. I'm just thinking what I could do that as a home educator, what I could do with that. Hiring a dedicated tutor for specific things, field trips, stuff away. They'd never do it though, would they? They'd never do that. But So is it savings or capital value of the investment? Savings in. Okay, congrats, mate. It's so good to see people getting ahead in the current economic climate. How old are you, if you don't mind sharing? What's your next milestone target? I have a few friends who, here we go. This is so great. I have a few friends who transitioned out of the military, and it's quite shocking how many haven't prepared financially for the change or made the most of the allowances they received while in. Quite sad given things they've given up. Yes, 100%. In the military, you often find you'll receive random lump sums of money, either allowances, retention payments, or incentives. So many people will happily spend any surplus of funds, which is good at times for respite. But if your mentally is to always spend, you miss out on the opportunities. So there you go. So guys, some good news. A family achieved a 200 grand savings. Let's have a bit of a chat about this. So as I said, if you've got success stories that you want to share, drop them on the community tab and we can discuss them with the other members of the audience. Because with all of the negative news you hear out there, there's a lot of people doing real well. You might think everyone is like some destitute bloody idiot that they drag out on the ABC, that they happen to stumble upon a Facebook group that's got no bloody idea what they're doing. It doesn't have their shit together. And, you know, you think that's the average Australian. Well, no, a lot of average Australians are professionals. They're doing well. They got enough money. They got their shit together. Oh, no, they may need to cut back on some luxuries to pay the mortgage because, you know, the RBA and the media were bullshitting us all with no rate rises until 2024. It's not the end of the world, guys. Okay, it's not gonna. We're not gonna be living in Mad Max. I know you all want to. I know some people really want to go that Mad Max route and just start all over again. I understand. Don't blame you. It's not going to be that exciting. We'll still be bitching about the next iPhone and Starfield 70 or Starfield 76 when they make an online version. Anyway, I thought I'd just share a good article. Take care, guys. Enjoy your weekend. And to all the Collingwood fans out there, cheers. We beat the Lions. Or are they the Bears? They're still the Bears. As always, I'll see you next time. Check out HeiseBim or HeiseDoes. I occasionally put content up there. And if you want to support us, you can on YouTube or Patreon. Use the referral links, buy the pocket squares, or call me if you need an architect. Have a great night. Enjoy your long weekend. And everyone's a monarchist. A monarchist. Oh, God bless the king. There you go. Take care.